Come on down to Baskin RV. We got deals and deals on wheels. Put that firework down, Timmy. Put that down. You're going to put an eye out. Come on down to Baskin RV. Woo!
Welcome to Interviews with Minus,
Wait, do you really want me to say this?
Yeah, just say the line.
the greatest talk show in Terminus.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode number 2 of Interviews with Minus. Last show, I told you I'm not really a professional at this in any way, shape, or form. We did get a lot of really good feedback last week, so thank you. Everybody keep doing that. And everybody really hated our fans. People were like, they're too loud. I want to hear people talk. So everyone out there in the audience, I'm going to need you to keep your applause down and keep your laughter down to the really funny moments of the show. So with that said, I'm pretty excited tonight. We get to interview someone who I feel like needs to be known by more people. And I call her this. She doesn't like it, but I call her the First Lady of Pantheon Plus. So without further ado, let me get this robot fired up. And Tess, welcome to the show.
It's so good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And never called me that again.
Yeah, and it's funny. She said that before, so I've already violated that law. So Tess, tell people what you're part of Standing in Fire. Give us a little history, a little blurb about what Standing in Fire is all about.
Well, Standing in Fire started with Boom Tap and I. We actually were teachers at the same school. And we fell in love with WoW. I had been playing WoW for a while. I got him into it. We actually started a school WoW club.
There was never anything that cool in my school. I just want to make sure you're aware of that.
Well, it was really fun, and we managed to do it mainly because a lot of our gamer kids were not getting good grades. So we managed to make it like an eligibility thing. Like in order to raid, you had to be eligible, just like a sport. And it really worked. And so we had a great time doing that. And then we decided that we were really funny. So we started a
very
general...
humble, and very humble.
Yeah, we think we're hilarious. But we started a very general podcast called Kind of a Big Deal Gaming Podcast. And over the course of that, we hit on WoW and Secret World and SWTOR and a lot of different MMOs. And Militus came on our show when we were doing Secret World. We thought that was great. And so we had him come back and back and back and back.
How long ago was that?
Oh, gosh.
Secret World was quite a while.
6-7 years ago.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So there's been multiple shows from then to now with Standing in Fire. And here we are, just being idiots every Wednesday. And people seem to think that we're funny. So we'll keep doing it as long as we keep making people laugh.
Tess, the reason you're on the show, we want to get to learn more about you. So we are going to start up the interview questions here. Go into detail, have some fun with it. Tell us, get us some in-depth knowledge of Tess.
Some juicy bits.
Yeah, of course. And if there's anything you can toss in on Boom or Militus to make us laugh at them, that's perfect too. So
I've got stories. I'll see what I can do.
So we're going to start with question number 1, which is, why do you play MMORPGs?
Wow. Well, I think a better question is, why don't more people play MMORPGs? They're just the best platform of gaming. I got my start just doing RPGs.
Okay.
MMO, that wasn't a thing when I was growing up. And I had a hardcore gaming mom. So my mother
you
actually...
have to share the name. What's the...
We call her Mama Tess. Yeah, call her Mama Tess. And so she would get all of these RPG games, all the Ultimate games. Gosh, there are just so many I can't even think. And then she got into MMOs when MMOs really got started. She was big on Ultima Online, and she was really big on Dark Ages of Camelot. And so I kind of inherited that. And now I love it. I just love RPGs. And then when I found out that you could actually play with people and create relationships, I mean, at first it was really nerve-wracking to just meet people. But now they're my best friends, they're my family. And so I can't imagine not playing MMOs. would kill me. Mhm.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, I've said it before that I have a kid, I have a wife, and I've moved around a lot. I really don't have time to go out and meet people, and I really don't care to. It sounds so bad. So MMOs are where I've met a majority of my great friends. So I can understand. Okay, so this next one, I know you got a good story here. Let's jump into question number 2, which is tell me about a time that you got in trouble in an MMO.
Okay. Well, gosh, this is hard. I am a good girl, Minus. I don't get into trouble. No, I'm just kidding. I get into trouble all the time. But
you're not trying to figure out one. You're trying to figure out which one.
Which one? Yeah, exactly. I would say that probably my favorite one wasn't something I did in a game that got me in trouble, but it was just the fact that I was playing WoW that got me in trouble. I was playing tabletop RPG, Vampire the Masquerade from White Wolf with a whole bunch of friends online. And I kind of started distancing myself from that and playing more and more and more and more and more WoW. Okay. And then finally one day they called me and they were like, yeah, you're out of our game. You don't show up anymore. I was like, oh, but I just like playing the video game too. Can't I do both? They're like, no. You have to choose
no
us
option.
and video
You were just
games.
out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that happened. I remember one time in game, I was down in Booty Bay and there was this guy at a PvP server. There was this guy that was standing on top of the bank and shooting me. He was a hunter shooting me in the water. And the guards couldn't get up to him to stop him.
Okay.
So he just kept killing me over and over until finally I managed to get up there. And then I tanked that guy, or I just sat on him for probably about 45 minutes just to make him learn his lesson. Oh, 100, like an hour. Just to make him learn his lesson. And then he reported me.
That's fantastic.
He started it, and yeah. I couldn't play for 2 days.
You got banned?
Yeah, for 2 days.
Oh, see, now that's a juicy story. And for those of you that don't know, me and Tess are actually drinking the exact same wine. Yeah, it's insane.
I'm gonna fill up my glass here a little bit.
Yeah, I can't, like, the odds of that happening is insane. We should probably get some sort of sponsorship for that.
We should. They should pay us money.
So I love the fact that in your story of getting in trouble, you've gotten in trouble with friends, you've got kicked out of a group, and you've actually been banned. And I'm sure
I have been banned.
Which is great. And I'm sure that there's going to be a day where this is reversed and maybe Haya interviews me and I have a very good ban story. I will let everyone know that as a teaser. Someday that will come out. So someday.
Exclusive.
So, okay. That's question number 2. So let's get into 10 this or that. So I'm going to ask you just rapid fire, say what you think. I may have some commentary on it. These are completely random. I have a program that's 500 this or that's in it, and I just pick and choose randomly. So first one, Jello or pudding?
Pudding.
I agree. It's a little harder. Is it harder to make? No, probably not.
No, and actually I would prefer custard over pudding. But
well, we can't all be super I mean, we're both wearing really fancy jackets tonight, but we can't all be that fancy all the time.
We're fancy. Yep.
Would you rather eat in or dine out?
Eat in.
Yeah?
Order in.
I don't know. I lived at restaurants when I moved one time by myself, and I didn't cook anything. I didn't have food in the fridge.
Well, I worked at restaurants for God knows how many, and I feel bad for those poor people.
So you just, or is it because you're afraid of what they do to the food from movies like,
no,
I'm just kidding.
I don't think they'll do that.
Okay, this one's great. Leather or fabric?
Leather. What kind of question is that?
Flea market or mall?
Probably flea market.
Okay, that's fair. I found you can find some crazy.
Find really good LPs at flea markets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Shower or bath?
Well, I would prefer a bath, but shower is what I have time for.
Okay. But if there was no time constraints and you didn't have to set it up and it was just ready for you, you're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Bath. Yeah.
Nice. Would you rather call or text somebody?
Call.
You know,
I don't like texting.
I really found that interesting because in my heart, I would want to say call, but I'm pretty sure I would text. I think I've become one of them.
I want to call people, but I want people to text me.
That's perfect. If my family could never call me and I was that, then we'd be okay. Okay, now this one's interesting. I saw this and I couldn't not pick it. So,
Okay.
and you may have to think about this for a second. So,
All right.
do you hang toilet paper with it over or hanging under?
Over.
Okay. Any reason? It's just the way it's always been, or?
It's just the way it's always been.
So when I saw
It
that
should
question,
probably be under because I have a cat. And so if my cat gets into the toilet paper, if it's hung over, it just unravels. Whereas if I hung it
might
over,
not
it
as
would just
bad.
flip it.
yeah, huh? You know, it's funny when I saw that, I actually had to sit and think, like, what do I do?
I did. I had to think for a moment too. How do I hang it? Yeah, over.
All right, 3 more. Salty or sweet snacks?
Can't I have both
Nope, you have to pick.
mixed together at
It's
the
the
same
rule.
time though? Okay, salty.
Okay, I'm the same.
Yeah.
I'd rather have some Tostitos or something like that than anything. Dunkin' or Starbucks?
Starbucks.
Oh, I disagree so much.
No, sorry. Let me put it this way. Dunkin' Donuts if I just want a regular coffee,
hmm
if I just want a cup of joe. Starbucks if I want like a latte.
Okay, that's fair because a white chocolate mocha from Starbucks is pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're
But
good.
most of the time I drink black coffee and I can't.
Oh,
stand
and I can't how can you drink black coffee? It's so bitter.
It's a long story. It's what makes me bitter. Okay, and this is the last one coming up, and I swear I told you these are random, right? So
Okay,
there's no
yeah.
trickery here. It was a pretty interesting
There's no
last one. There's no trickery.
Chicanery?
So
Okay.
it's Militus or Boom Tap.
I refuse to answer that question. I will not. I couldn't pick between my two boys for all the world. I
Just
love
do
them
like a
deeply.
symbol, just like
I love them. No, I refuse to answer.
they're gonna like
That
you for
is-
that.
no,
I thought
they're
for sure you would
beautiful
give someone a
men.
shot.
No.
Nobody?
I love
Nothing?
them so much. Nope, I won't do that to them.
Okay.
They're both my favorites.
All right. I'm gonna pick Militus for one reason. Because he doesn't
Why?
own a Dell Optiplex.
Well,
So
that is true. But he made me very angry apparently the other night.
he did, and I thought for sure this was a win for Boom. Boom's probably sitting there crying right now because he's like, I haven't even made her upset. This could be a bad standing and fire because you didn't pick him.
Maybe, but
You're allowed to go
Nope.
back. So during the show, if you think to yourself, you know what, I need to pick one of them, I'll give you that
okay.
chance. You have
Well,
that.
can I pick both of their wives over them?
Yes. I'm
Okay,
okay
there
with
we
that.
go.
We can add that
I
as
will
a
pick
third
their
one.
wives over.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump back into the final 2 questions. So, and you can define this how you'd like. It's something that stands out for you. What was one of the most emotional moments that you've had in an MMORPG?
Something that happened back right at the end of Burning Crusade in WoW. That's right when I became a hardcore raider, and I was in this guild. It was called what was it called? Phoenix Rising, and it was a relatively hardcore raiding guild. We had 2 teams. Met some wonderful people there. People that I just think are that the sun shines out of their butt. They're just great people. And unfortunately, the 2 of the guild leaders got a divorce,
Oh boy.
and it just destroyed the guild and ripped it apart. And watching all of those people that I had loved and played and laughed with for, gosh, an entire expansion, seeing them say farewell and go to other guilds, it just killed me. I cried.
Now, did it become one of those? So they were both co-guild leaders?
Yeah.
So did it become 2 guilds? I mean, did there have to become a choice? Did it get to that?
Yeah. So one went one way, the other one stuck, and then everybody kind of followed loyalties, I guess.
That's
and
rough.
it was so rough. And to this day, I some of my best rating memories is from that guild, and some of my biggest laughs are from that guild. And I really miss it. I really miss those people.
All right. So one final question, and then we'll chat a little bit before we wrap it up here. So why have you all decided to go all in on Pantheon?
Well, it was Militus that kind of started the whole thing. We were getting ready for yet another Standing in Fire WoW show, and going, all right, well, what are we going to talk about this week? But we can't be negative. We have to be funny, and we can't be mean, and it was just starting to feel like back-breaking labor at the point. So Militus jumps in and he goes, hey guys, check this out. Look at what I just dropped a ridiculous amount of money. Don't tell my wife.
So he went 250 before you guys even knew what was going on?
He went I think he's at 250 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not certain. The numbers, alpha. But he went for pre-alpha, or he went for alpha immediately, and sent us all this stuff, and we looked into it, and I'm sitting here reading it, and all the little tiny D&D hardcore fantasy hooks are blowing up in my head, and I'm like, this looks really cool. So I was number 2. I jumped on, and I was like, well, yep, don't tell my husband, because same thing. And then Boom was like, what are you guys talking about? He's like, I'm playing Forza. I don't know what you guys are talking about right now. He checked it out. He was like, this is amazing. Instead of, racking our brains, let's flip to this thing, because it's fresh. It's different. It has an amazing community already. And you guys were famous to us before
I started a couple weeks before you guys jumped over. So.
Well, and so you guys were like all of our research projects as we were trying to figure out what this show
everybody.
is. And so we were watching you guys, Baz, everybody, VOT, and just trying to figure out what this game was. And the more we learned, the more excited we got, and the more we were like, well, what if they do this, or what if they do that, or theory crafting, and we got the bug, and we're super, super excited. We cannot wait. And we just are having a great time right now, taking it slow. Like you said, we've got a ways to go. So we don't feel the need to go too in depth on anything yet. We're kind of just touching the surface of, the different races and the different classes and the different ideas of the game. And I cannot wait. I need a Xanax.
So Tess, if people wanted to reach out to you or talk about Standing in Fire, or there are people who are interested in the show, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, you can get in touch with me on my Twitter at debuffthis. I thought that was funny and sassy. Debuff this.
Nice.
But or to the show at SIF Podcast, and we're live Wednesdays at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, at Twitch TV / Standing in Fire Podcast, I think.
Yes.
Standing in Fire Podcast, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know my own information.
Yeah, hey, we'll find it. Just check Twitter. You'll see it every Wednesday night getting pimped out there by everybody in the community. We all have a really good time watching you guys and sharing the laughs and taking a break from everything to smile. So I tell you that I know the community appreciates the things you guys do, and really happy to have you on to get people a little more test time. I know you struggle sometimes to get over those loud, boisterous men that are on your show.
Oh, no. I have no issues with that.
So, Tess, thank you for being on our second show. Everybody follow her on Twitter. Check out Standing in Fire Podcast. It is totally worth your time. It's a great Wednesday night. Who does anything on Wednesdays anyways? So come stand in fire with all of us. Hang out. This is it for episode 2. Let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next week.